I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. If you are spending a lot of time on your website, a lot of time on your logo, and a lot of time on just customizing little things around your product or service that you're trying to sell, when you are first starting off with your business, you are wasting time. You don't need to be customizing your website. You don't need to be customizing your logo. You don't need to be doing any of that. You need to be getting yourself out there in front of clients and trying to figure out exactly how you can help them using your product or service. And today I'm going to be showing you guys in this YouTube video how to get yourself your first couple clients, how you can get your first couple case studies, and how you can leverage that to get more clients, and how you can get yourself out there and you can get the ball rolling for your business and whatever you're trying to do. Now, before we get started here, and before I show you guys how to set up a banger cold email campaign, I'm just gonna say this one thing. The more types of omni-channel approaches to outreach that you can take, whether that be cold calling or messages on LinkedIn, messages on TikTok or Instagram or whatever, the more different channels that you're able to leverage here, the more effective and more guaranteed your first couple clients are going to be. So the more you do, the more you get. So with that being said, I'm going to show you guys how to set up a cold email campaign and how you can leverage these different softwares that I use to be able to get yourself your first couple clients. So you can leverage either Appify, which is a web scraper. You have the option to scrape website content. So you can look through, you can use this software to be able to look through any website on Google and just basically take the emails, phone numbers, first names, last names, whatever. You can take all of that and then just kind of extract that from the websites, add them into a leads list. You can also scrape TikTok. You can scrape LinkedIn, you can scrape Twitter, you can scrape Google Maps, you can scrape Instagram, all of them. You can scrape all of them and find the people that you're looking for. So if you are in a B2C space and you are selling as a business to a customer, you're probably gonna wanna use Instagram scrapers, TikTok scrapers, or the different social media scrapers. If you are in the B2B space, you are going to want to use LinkedIn, you are going to want to use the web scrapers, and you're going to want to use things that just kind of allow you to kind of tap into the B2B space. So Appify is great for doing that, but me personally, I like to use Apollo. Apollo is a great software for finding any person that owns a business or is a part of a business in basically whatever region you're in, whatever country you're in. It finds literally anybody. So the way you can set up your Apollo is, first off, you have the option to set filters. You can set filters here that basically allow you to see if the person's email has been verified. So if the person has a verified email and that they have a valid email that you can access, you are also able to kind of check roles they're in a company, in a business, in a job, whatever. So you're able to kind of look through, be like, okay, I want to look for owners. I want to look for, let's say, founders. Founders and owners. So you can look for founders, owners, CEOs, whatever you want to look for. So if you look through this, you can just basically make sure that all of these people that it gives you, that Apollo offers to you, are all just going to be they're all going to be a CEO, an owner, a founder, and just stuff like that. You can exclude people too. You can also, if you don't want to find co-founders and you want to just focus on people that are, the founders, the CEOs, and just the, big boys in the business, you can look for those and just kind of disregard the co-founders and the CFOs and just stuff like that. That's also great for that. Company lookalikes, I haven't really played around with this. Location, you can set your location. You can do United States, you can do Germany, you can do, whatever different place that you're looking for. And then also your employee size. This is going to kind of indicate how big the company is. If the company has 1 to 10 employees, they're going to be a pretty small company. If they have 50 to 100 employees, they're going to be somewhat of a medium-sized company. If they have 1,000 plus, they're probably going to be a really big, large corporation. So you can kind of indicate exactly, what types of spaces and how big your companies that you're looking for are. Industry and keywords. This is going to be one of the biggest filters that you're probably going to want to spend a lot of your time on. If you look here, you can check all of these different industries that you might be able to, do some research in. It doesn't really matter what you look for here, it just has all of it. So you can just look through and find exactly what different types of industries you're trying to sell to. You can look for real estate, marketing and advertising, information technology and services. So this is going to be your IT and just stuff like that. So you can just look through there and you can pick exactly what industry you're looking for. And then industry keywords, this is going to be a very important filter for you to look through. So if the person that you're looking for, the business that you're looking for, offers a very specific type of service or has a very specific word either in their LinkedIn or in their website that indicates a certain sub niche or a sub market, you can put that in here and it's going to give you a bunch of people that have the exact same thing, or a bunch of different industries, a bunch of different companies that have the same thing. That's going to be a very big filter that you're going to want to focus on. Now, AI filters, I don't really care to use those. Buying intent doesn't really matter because there's not really a way for them to be able to check. Scores doesn't really matter. Technologies, if the certain people that you're looking for, certain businesses that you're looking for, use a certain, technology or software or tool, you can put that in here, and then it's also going to be able to, bring up a bunch of people that use the same thing. And then also revenue. You can kind of gauge exactly how big the company is also by your revenue. If the person or business is doing more than $1 million, it's probably going to be a medium to a larger size company or whatever. If they're doing under that, it's going to be a smaller or whatever. It all depends on exactly what market you're looking for too, as well, by the way. You can also look through there, funding, job posts, signals, email opens. There's just so many different filters. You can look through all these filters, look at exactly which ones are probably going to make the most sense to you and set those up. Once you do that, you can take all of these people that you end up getting shown to you, and then you can just take them and export them in a CSV file. So Apollo allows you to easily just click a little box and then select the amount of people that you want to do, and then just if you press apply, it's just going to export them and then just download them to your computer. Once they download to your computer, you want to just head over to Instantly. Now, Instantly is a very, very, very powerful software if you learn how to use it right. Instantly allows you to set up email campaigns and just allows you to just run email campaigns on the back burners while you're doing other things. Let's say you want to have email campaigns running in the background while you're doing cold calling or email or messages on LinkedIn, messages on TikTok, messages on Instagram, and so that you can just kind of leverage the omnichannel approach to getting your first couple clients. You can just have these emails running in the background while you're doing other things. Highly recommend doing cold calling because cold calling is probably one of the other most effective ways you can just get your first couple clients. So just set up, once you get into Instantly here, it's just going to show you the dashboard. Your dashboard is probably not going to look like this because I have bought a bunch of emails, as you can see. These are all the different emails that I have for my personal business here. I'm probably going to blur all this out so you guys can't see, but Instantly is very powerful because it allows you to buy emails and domains in here as well. If you press add new, these are going to be your pre-warmed accounts. These are accounts that have a reputation with the email providers that you're trying to get emails from. There's Microsoft, there's Google. It's just going to have a reputation with them, so you don't need to worry about setting those emails up. You don't need to worry about doing all the complicated coding and setting up the SPF records and just all that stuff. That is just it's going to make you want to blow your brains out if you have to set that shit up. So Instantly allows you to just basically get pre-warmed accounts, which is just I honestly wouldn't recommend getting pre-warmed accounts because you don't have very much creativity with your emails. I would highly recommend just doing the done for you email setup. You just click here, you just enter whatever domain you want. Let's say I want to do leads launcher, which is my agency. You can put that in there, and then since my personal domain's already been taken by me, it's going to put a bunch of similar ones that I can use. It just gives you a bunch of similar domains to the ones that you put in, and then once you choose a couple, it's just going to go ahead. It's going to cost you about $30 for two domains, and then you go ahead, and then it's just going to give you a bunch of different emails that you can customize. These are all going to go for $5 a pop. It's not going to be too crazy, but once you end up getting your emails, you can go back to Instantly. They're going to pop up in here in your dashboard, and then you can start warming up your emails. Once you start warming up your emails, you are going to need to wait 2 to 4 weeks to be able to actually use the emails, because they have to build trust with the email provider. If you don't do that, your emails are going to land in spam, you are going to be blacklisted, and you are not going to be able to reach people that you are trying to reach. So highly recommend waiting 2 to 4 weeks to actually wait for your emails to warm up. I would highly recommend doing all this stuff beforehand so that you can do your outreach all at the same time. So just have your emails and all that set up when you are ready to do your actual outreach. So as your emails warm up here, they're just going to be showing your percentages, your health scores and everything. These are some really nice metrics to know. And then also, so once your emails are all warmed up and they're all ready to go, you've waited 2 to 4 weeks and you're ready to start your campaigns, you can take your emails right here, go to your campaigns page, and then just go to your, set up your own. This is one of the past campaigns that I set up, but you can set up a new campaign. Let's just name this test campaign. And then you just go here and then you press add leads. This is going to be the CSV file that you got from Apollo. All those lists of people that you got from Apollo, you're gonna take those, you're gonna take the downloaded CSV file, throw it in here, and then upload it. Once you upload it, it's going to show all your leads in here, and then it's just going to show their names, their company, their websites, their links to everything, their phone numbers, all that stuff that you just scraped from Apollo. It's gonna put them all in here, and then you can start making your emails. This is your email page. You can set up a bunch of different sequences, different steps here, and then also in each step you can set up a bunch of sequences. So you can do A/B testing as well, so that you can set up 2 different types of very similar emails, and you can test which one's working better, and then just be able to say, okay, this one's working not as good. A is working a little better, so I'm just gonna go with A, and then you can turn off email B, and I'll show you guys exactly what that looks like real quick. Let's say I have this email set up, right? If email B is looking better than email A, email B is being shown to a lot more people. It's being opened by a lot more people. It's being responded to by a lot more people. I can turn off email A and then turn on email B, and then that's just going to allow me to just keep on sending out email B, because obviously it's doing better. Once you do that, you have your first couple emails. Also, these are going to be very important as well. These are called spin text. It basically allows you to make sure that the exact same email isn't being sent every single time. It just kind of varies the emails just by a little bit, and it kind of personalizes each email, so it kind of acts like a human basically. It's kind of like a code that you can put in your emails that just changes things up. So if one of the emails ends up saying sincerely, the next email will say best or regards or kind regards or whatever, and you could just kind of play around with that, and then after you set up your first initial email, you want to set up your follow-up email. This is going to be your step 2. You can set up an A/B for this as well. So you can set up 2 different ones. Maybe one subject line says, any thoughts yet? Another one says, still curious. And you can just kind of play around with your follow-ups as well. And you can just keep on doing this and just keep on adding just different follow-ups, as long as the person doesn't say, please stop bothering me. Once they say that, you have to stop. And this is going to be also a very important thing that you're going to need to learn. There is there's going to be email marketing laws that you need to learn, because you can't just spam people, okay? You are going to be fined, and the fines are not very pretty. You get fined like $15,000 if you don't follow the CAN-SPAM Act or the other laws for email marketing. If you don't follow them, it's going to be a very dangerous place for you to play. So and instantly allows you to kind of abide by those laws really well, and it just makes it easy for you to just be able to email market as much as you want while still being able to abide by the law, which is another thing that I just want to speak about real quick. Instantly allows you to put these little links in your I forget exactly where it is. I think it's in your subject line, and basically if people aren't interested, they can click that and just kind of delete them themselves off your list so that they don't end up getting bothered by you. And then that's also one of the biggest parts in the Can Spam Act. You can't not give people a way out. Once you send an email to somebody and they don't know you, once you're email marketing to somebody and they don't know you, you need to make sure that there's a way out for them so that, you know, they don't end up, you know, filing for a lawsuit and they don't end up fining you $15,000 and it's just not going to be pretty for you. So instantly makes that pretty easy. And so once you set up all your campaigns, you basically just launch them, you get your emails live, and you can track them all through your Unibox. This is your Unibox. This is where people come. This is where you're notified if people respond with yes, if people respond with no, if people respond with, you know, get out of my inbox. It just tells you all that stuff. So this is just kind of an example of it. This person was pretty interested, so it kind of indicates it as an interested lead. This person was also kind of interested, so it just kind of also marks it as an interested lead. This person was out of office, so it also puts that as up there as well, so that it just tells you by the little lightning bolt that, you know, the different status that the people are kind of in. This is basically a part of your CRM as well, so it just kind of helps you kind of know exactly what the person kind of replied with. And then your actual CRM here is just going to be how you see all your different things. Here's also, again, what people responded with. This is your CRM. It just kind of separates the different types of people. It just kind of gives you little indications with the little lightning bolts. And then this is also another part of your CRM, which just kind of shows you your total sends, your open rates, your click rates, reply rates, opportunities, and it just shows this little graph of exactly when it was, what day it was, and stuff like that. So it allows you to just track everything on here, and it's very nice and neat. So this is going to be, again, a very powerful tool for you guys to use if you want to start getting your first couple clients and you want to start getting yourself out there. I would highly, highly, highly recommend using Instantly. With that being said, this is the end of the YouTube video. If you found this very informational, or if you guys found this helpful or useful, please make sure, again, to subscribe and hit the like button. This is going to help me get out there, and I will see you guys next video.